Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports.
Thank you, Coach. We are about 15 miles west of downtown Phoenix at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. Tonight, we wrap a busy first week of the season with a second of two on a Monday night between the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Fake handoff to Johnson. Now here's Murray. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
To throw is Murray. Got his man. It's Williams. The game's first play produces 6 yards. Brings up second down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Murray's going to keep this himself on the RPO. This is Butler making the catch.
An eligible receiver downfield. Offense.
Now those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there. On second down, here's Murray. Well, this is caught by Williams. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is starting.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there.
That's it, baby. We got work. Partner, doesn't seem like it, but that's a tough spot for a kicker. First drive of the game, and they're calling on him. He should be warmed up. He should be into the game, but sometimes it's almost like, oh, what now already? Can't they put it in the end zone? What's going on here?
Yeah, he's probably saying if you can't get it in the end zone, can you give me a 30, 40-yarder? A long one, and he can't connect. So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
After the penalty, it's Penny. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, with that continuity.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Taking it in from 11 yards out as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, well, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down and a 21-yard gain.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he works his way forward for about 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down now, it's Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind him. Brings up 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. That's sacked by the DN, Danico Autry. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
On 2nd and 11 now. Breeze going for Metcalf on the... And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play there for Seattle. 44 yards.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
And down inside the 15 he goes. 1st down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there.
Ready. Yellow lady. Watch the curve. Ready. Line eight. Over. Switch. Jet bomber. Jet bomber.
Now a play fake. Breeze. This is caught. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a 1st down. Penny will try to punch it in. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Another try for Penny. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's 3rd and goal. Now a 3rd and goal situation as this Arizona defense tries to stand tall once more. Here's Breeze to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Hassan Reddick drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
To throw is Breeze. And my goodness, this is incomplete. They had the play call on 4th and goal, but it's dropped in the end zone. And the Cardinal defense is going to get the football back. So a tough pill to swallow there. A would-be touchdown pass in and out of his hands on 4th.
Sometimes it just comes down to execution, doesn't it? Because we're always questioning, should they go for it, should they not? Is it the right play call, is it not? In this situation, everything was right except for the finish.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big-time play there by the Cardinals. 63 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
It's our time. It's our time.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
Brings up 2nd down at the 16-yard line.
From the 16, Murray out to us, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The sack there by Trent Murphy.
Well, that's the 2nd time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Underneath for Johnson. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
Well, let's gaze our attention as the offense takes the field on Rashad Penny. And it may just be the 2nd quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
Throwing now is Breeze. This pass complete to Higgins. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there.
First down, Seahawks.
Ready. Yellow waiting.
Throwing on first down is Breeze. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and that'll bring up second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Breeze again here on 2nd and 10. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. On the draw, this is Penning. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
Murray now to throw. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. That's complete to Edmonds, his running back. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll start over at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. 24-10 was your final. From there, we head up to our nation's capital to check on the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Denver Broncos. Mitchell Trubisky with 3 touchdown passes in the Week 1 victory. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they were losers in that one to the visiting New York Giants. Marcus Mariota, 2 touchdown passes, as his guys are able to get the victory in their season opener. Meanwhile, in our game, not a lot of offense to go around. 7-3 is our score. Will we see things open up in the second half? To find out, we get it back to our guys in the booth, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Quit talking about it and bring it.
From the gun, a give to Penny. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
going to be a long stretch. 23 in the mic.
Throwing on second down. Breeze going deep downfield for Ross. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that is incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Taken in at the 22. Well, that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard play. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally, because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Second down, Murray sets to throw. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
This one caught by Isabella. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A Cardinal first down on a gain of 13.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. And the catch made by Johnson. 8 more yards this time, coming off back-to-back first down pickups. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Looking to throw on second down. Breeze. He'll find Metcalf. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Ready? Yellow waiting.
Penny, a first down carry. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside, as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up second down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Again, it's Penny. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now Rashad Penny, and this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Ready, 95-56. Bring it.
On second down, here's Penny. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Breeze looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Open man, and that's his tight end, Jake Butt. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this 4th quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
This is Penny. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
On the run, it's Penny. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Here's Penny. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Rashad Penny. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a...
Murray fighting, lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they'll have a short field to work with inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Breeze. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Austin Carr there to make the grab. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
A little work still to do, though. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle defense getting set to go. Recovered the fumble up on the scoreboard. They've got the momentum.
And that's a confident group that we see hitting the field again. Just what you talked about. Took away the ball in the last possession. They feel like they can go ahead and do it again. They are locked in and feeling good about how this game is going.
And they're playing free. They're playing loose.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. You know, sometimes it can be a bad thing if you're too free, too loose, and you give up your responsibilities. But not this unit. They are ready to go.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Here's Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
Murray sets to throw on 4th. He may try and run for this. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. So now with a 2-minute warning coming up fast, that puts a mammoth dent in their comeback hopes.
I like how you phrased it. It's a dent because there's still opportunity. They've got to get the ball back on defense, obviously twice. But guess what? This thing is not close to being over. They need to go ahead and play it out.
Not over. As you said, 2-score game still. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. They keep it with Penny on 1st down. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Bree's going to throw here. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off inside the 5. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
It's a gain of 11 and a Cardinal 1st down. The pass complete to Hakeem Butler. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Murray, he's used to moving fast in Oklahoma. He'll get his guys up to the line. The intended receiver was David Johnson, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Cardinals got to go quickly. Hustling to the line. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Murray. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the fourth quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. Now Murray, he's going to let it fly. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. The Cardinals forced to burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10. There's Murray, and he's got it. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. So the victory here for Seattle. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. But now I'm listening to you. So for the Seahawks, it'll be a happy trip home as they start the season with a road victory here on a Monday night. And they'll have another road date next week with the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get it.
It's Gurley power. It's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Todd Gurley, fresh off a standout performance a week ago, as it'll be the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Los Angeles Rams. With that, we're off to L.A. for the Rams' home opener in their third season back home. Standing by, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From the second largest city in the U.S., Los Angeles, California, we've got football as EA Sports coverage of the NFL is on the air. And a few short moments ago, running back Todd Gurley trying to fire up the Ram faithful here in Southern California as his guys get set to do battle with the Seattle Seahawks. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Rams team as they interplay. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they come off a good win in the opener on the road, and they get a second road game here.
Yeah, the schedule makers didn't really do them any favors, but if they can win here and get to 2-0 on the road, they could be well set up for the rest of the year.
Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Check 50, check 50.
Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. The numbers on the ground for Gurley last week. 19 carries, 80 yards, and a touchdown.
Are we playing old school football now? We've got the top 10 rusher in the league. He's sitting at number 10, and he has a chance to move up with a big-time game. So expect that offensive line every time they go to the bench and tell the offensive coordinator, let's run the football.
2 yards, good enough for a first. On first down, it's Gurley. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. The starters defensively now for the Seahawks. They were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
Delayed give off to Gurley. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And they had him bottled up, but here's a late flag, and a face mask is going to get a much better starting position.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask certainly helps things as they'll start up past the 30 on first down. Now Breeze. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now a man who played collegiately here in the Golden State, Rashad Penny. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. The Rams calling on their nickel set here defensively for 3rd down. From the gun, it's Breeze. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A 3rd down gain of 19.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
They'll run with Penny. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
Play action. Breeze. He's going to fire one deep over the... It's caught inside the 25. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
On 2nd and 7, Breeze. He's got the lane, and there he goes. He's at the 40, 20, 10, and he will bring it back. It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. That means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Prater for the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Kill. Watch the twitch. Check 31. Under 10. Protein spell.
They begin with a run by Penny. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 7-0 on EA Sports. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Penny. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Penny. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll run with Penny here out of the shotgun. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
A handoff to Penny, and running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Now Breeze. Over the middle, complete. It's Hodges. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effect.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf, his first touchdown of the new season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. Myers connects on the PAT, and we are tied at 7. So this drive spans 7 plays, and the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Big Sheldon Rankins there to bring him down. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Here's Goff, and incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down and needing long yardage to try and pick up a first down, and they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down, but guess what? It all started with what happened on 1st and 2nd down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. from the 22. Here's 2nd and 8. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The Rams go nickel here defensively on 3rd.
Tight into the right, boy. Tight into the right. Move. Forward. Check.
Shotgun now for Breeze. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
The touch and time here critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
So Breeze is going to stay out there, and they're going to go for this on 4th down. So here we go on 4th down with Breeze. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Rams get the football in outstanding field position.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way.
Get ready.
Now a first down throw. Gone. And it's caught. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. And fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
We'll give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try and get some points and feel great going into the half.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's a give to Penny.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Breeze going to throw. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Going deep downfield for Ross. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. The final shot before half for Breeze. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down. So he comes out of nowhere. He's got this handlebar mustache, greasy hair, and he says, would you rather eat a jar of mayonnaise or 3 sticks of butter? And I'm well, all right, never mind. Third quarter action now. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
And they have been disruptive in the passing game, as we're going to see here.
And it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, you cover a guy in your area.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. They'll run it again with Penny. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time. And it's third down. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this will be caught at the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. On the stop was Aaron Donald. Now a handoff here to his running back. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just roam and hit.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Well, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the third quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Goff throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Todd Gurley, and it's 3rd and short.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
Here's Gurley. And Gurley, he fumbled it. Gurley fumbles the football. It's loose. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
23 yards on the play. Breeze now has hit on just 7 of 17 passes, 41%. Breeze now. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Check, 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 check. High line.
To throw, it's Breeze. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Here's Breeze to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Taylor Rapp with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. The tackle made by K.J. Wright. On the draw, Goff gives to Gurley. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. They run. It's Gurley. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Now Goff, and that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. The Rams on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. A shotgun snap for Goff. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get him to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And not much there at all as he'll get this only up to about the 11. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And he'll give it here to his running back. And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. On play action, now Breeze. And that will be incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. Goff. Now that'll be caught by Cup. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That's a gain of 13, 1st down Rams. Goff now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now Goff. I was going to let this go for the end zone. And it's caught for a Rams touchdown by Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Rams are going to jump back in front. Extra point good by Prater. And the lead is now 14-10. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. A field goal does him no good. They need a touchdown.
And right now, in his mind, in his memory bank, he's drawing on times that he's done this before. Not necessarily in the NFL. College, high school, pee-wee ball, wherever. Anything positive that he remembers about taking a team downfield with a chance to win, he's going to draw on that for this drive.
I'm sure that these guys live for these moments. Here we go. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. To throw is Breeze. He'll find Metcalf. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Now a man open down the middle of the field. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Hey, break it down, fellas. Break it down.
Throwing on first down is Breeze. He'll take a shot for the end zone. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Breeze will try again on 2nd down. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Oh, no, he lost the football. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down L.A.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Game, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. The Rams go victory formation as they take the knee.
Go, blood! 2nd and 16. On the Seahawks 48-yard line.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. And they'll indeed take a knee.
Well, Brandon, they're getting to 2-0, and this time they're able to take a knee at the end and secure the victory.
Preseason, coach said their goal, they obviously want to win everything. He said, I think we can get off to a 3-0 start. Well, here they are looking at 2-0 right now. Here's Johnny Hacker now. He's been terrific so far. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Los Angeles, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll get to stay.